Well, first of all, there are many religious traditions. The Christian faith is the largest. I mean, it encompasses over 2 billion people. And then Muslims are next, and so on. So we're talking about very large groups of people whose, whose way of communicating with the divine is from uh, different from the Christian Judaic way. Now the question is, we um, we have to ask ourselves, in non-Christian traditions, is it possible that God may be working in these traditions, but in a different way? Right? Or is God only working through Israel and through Jesus and nobody else? All right. So when I talk to seminary students, very few of them are willing to say absolutely that God cannot be working in these religious traditions. So they'll be working in some way. Most of them will acknowledge that God could be working in some way in these religious traditions to, because the impulse to access the divine, to relate to the divine, to connect with the divine is pretty universal. And in spite of the fact that some people have predicted that, we're going from the religious to the philosophical to the scientific, and that given enough time, given enough education, that the religion is going to just collapse. Well, the fact is that it hasn't collapsed. It doesn't look like it's going to collapse anytime soon. And so that's a phenomena that really needs to be addressed. But there are many Christians who believe that because Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes to the Father except by me. That it means that Christian faith and Jesus Christ is the only way that people can have access to God. Right? Now, if Jesus is actually the Son of God, then of course, this preempts everything else, right? But just saying that doesn't give us the license to criticize other religions and to we can share the faith with other people. That's not the same as coercing them, right? And the thing is, nothing turns people off more than to say my religion is better than your religion. All right. Now if we can share our faith, which I think we need to do, right? But if you share your faith, our understanding of the faith, of course, is very partial and limited. So when missionaries go abroad, it's hard to tell whether they're sharing the gospel or Western medicine or Western education or Western ideas. And when you consider that Christian faith spread primarily in modern times through colonialism. Without colonialism, like Gandhi would say, he wasn't too impressed. He was very impressed with Jesus, but he said, I wasn't that impressed with the Christians. He said, if the Christians were more like Jesus, he said there wouldn't be any Hindu left in India. Right? So I myself feel very strongly that, of course, we share our faith. And but to share your faith does not mean that I want you to stop being a Buddhist or I want you to stop being Chinese. In China, when they brought the Christian gospel to China, they would say, one more Christian, one less Chinese. Okay. So some people are saying, well, maybe we hyphenate it like we're Chinese Americans. Maybe you can say, I'm a Confucian Christian, right? I'm a Hindu Christian. I'm a Jewish Christian. So you can actually be, you talk to them about Jesus, not about Christianity, not about, because if you're in a Muslim country, it's under Muslim law, they have Muslim universities, they have Muslim clergy, other religions are outlaw. The daily life is completely, so you don't go and try to get this one Muslim to detach from his family and to kind of come over to, is that what Jesus intended, right? So, so you can have a, so like, there's this Buddhist monk, he was very active in Vietnam. He was active, kind of engaged Buddhism. And then he was exiled to France, where he had a little monastery. And a lot of young people come, you know, for meditation and so forth. And he said, when the young people come and stay for a time, you know, in the monastery, he said, we don't try to make them Buddhists, you know. He said, what we do is we send them back, if they're Jewish or Christian or Muslim, and ask them to kind of rediscover the spiritual riches that are in their own tradition, right? So, so I myself would very much like to have a dialogue partner, a conversation partner with somebody who is Buddhist. I mean, like, I don't myself feel to, I don't myself feel led to convert individual who belong to other traditions. I mean, like, when I went to China, they say, you're worshiping your ancestors. I said, they're not worshiping their ancestors. They respect them. They honor them. They're not worshiping them, right? And then turns out that everything Chinese is not Christian. And so well, I said, why can't we set off firecrackers and have a lion dance at New Year's and drive the evil spirits out? It's in the New Testament, right? I said, our membership meetings would go better, you know. But anyway, so you get the idea that everything Chinese is not good. So there was one deacon in our church that said, oh, we can't have Tai Chi in our church building because that's tied up to Taoism, right? Oh no, we can't have yoga, that's because tied up with Hinduism. So, so I myself feel, yes, we should share our faith, and but to feel that our main job is to convert people from one deeply held tradition. Because where Christian faith succeeds the most is in the hill tribes, where there isn't a strong religious tradition already in place, like in the hill tribes of Burma, where you have a very strong tradition existing already. Christian faith usually has a more difficult time, and in China, you know, they started universities. They started, but the history of Christianity in China, over for all the money and effort put into it, numerically speaking, and not, a lot of people are trying to make China a Christian nation. I mean, how are we a Christian nation, right? So a lot of these, I want to be respectful of the people who feel that's their main job, is to convert people so that they can be part of Christ's family and be saved. A lot of people are unsaved. That's not a view that I think is very helpful.